I am Shayla L. Bennett, and this is 5 Minute Motivation, where I encourage and motivate you to live your best life today. So, this week we are starting a brand new series. What would you do if you really weren't afraid? What would you do if you really were not afraid? I was spending some time today doing a little cleaning up, and I'm discovering something about myself. It's not necessarily something new, but I have found that I've been more in a reflective kind of mood. As I have spent some time reflecting, I have realized that when I am doing something that my body is busy, but my mind isn't, my mind has an opportunity to tell me things that I'm thinking about. So today, as I was reflecting, it came to me, would you do, Shayla, if you really weren't afraid? Not just regular not afraid, not this, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Like, we've all kind of heard that, and I think we've kind of laughed it off at this point. Like, we really don't think that much about it. But when I thought about it today, it hit me differently. When I think about it now, I think about not just would you start the business, but Shayla, why wouldn't you start the business? Or why wouldn't you start the podcast? Or why wouldn't you start 5 Minute Motivation? Or why wouldn't you do a lot of things that are on your heart to do? Why? I think we need to dig down to the root of some things as opposed to just kind of glossing over the surface. We really don't explore what is at the foundation of why we are or we aren't doing things. So today I want to talk about what is it that you are afraid of. Not just, oh, I'm afraid of the dark. Okay, what does that mean? What does that really mean? What is it in the dark that you're afraid of? I'm afraid of the shadows in the dark. I'm afraid of what my imagination says that's in the dark. I want us to dive deeper into our thoughts. What are we thinking about? Our feelings. What are we feeling? What experience has told us that there is something for us to be afraid of to begin with? There is something that started this fear consciousness that triggered in us a response that says, fear this. There was something we heard. There was something we encountered. There was something we saw. There was something we experienced that says, I need to be afraid of this. Someone told us it was hard. Somebody told us that we couldn't do it. What triggered in you the thought pattern, the feeling, the emotion, the experience? I need to be afraid. Not just gloss over it. Oh, don't be, what would you do if you really weren't afraid? What would you do if you weren't afraid? I'd do such and such. Would you really? I mean, think about it. Break it down to its most basic unit. I hate to use math on you, but let's go there. Break it down to its most basic unit, its most common denominator. What is it that you are afraid of? And then go a little bit deeper. That's your homework for this week, for today. What is it that you're afraid of? So let me tell you about Shayla. See, I have thought for a while that I was afraid of failing. And it wasn't that I was afraid of success. I knew I could succeed. But it wasn't the fear of failing. See, I had already succeeded in some areas, but I had had a bad experience in the success. I had gone through some difficulties, some trials, and I did not want to go through the emotional stress, the turmoil, I had the emotion tied to the experience, and I didn't want to go back there. So because I didn't want to go there again, I didn't want to go there. So I said, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail at this. So now I don't have to figure out why I want to succeed at it or why I want to go back down this path. There is something on the other side of what you're afraid of. Today, I want you to dig down deep, figure out what it is, and then dig a little bit deeper. What is at the root cause of you not going after what you want? 5-minute motivation is going to be real, and I hope that it's real for you because I want you to live your very best life. This is 5-minute motivation, and I'm Shayla L. Bennett. Enjoy today and make it the very best day. Bye, guys.